Here we go. Hello and welcome into the Section 109 podcast. Matthew, you're here with me. Mix is here with me. Bobble Juan is right there. Toby's here somewhere. And we are here to talk about a lovely 2-0 win for the boys in blue.
Oh, what a great match.
I almost forgot it was Albion who we played. I was going to say who it was against, and I forgot because they don't matter. First of all, Matthew, how are you feeling after that game?
Or do you mean like how my voice is doing, which is like surprisingly well, or like how much sleep I've gotten, which was surprisingly enough, or like how I feel about how the team played?
So I'll just answer the first two of those. My voice is a little rough, not terrible. I definitely did not get enough sleep, and but I feel great about the boys in blue. Is that how it's?
Yeah. I had Modelo curled up with me for most of the night, which was pretty fantastic. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I didn't think we were great. I thought we were sloppy and mistake prone, especially in the first half. And maybe I'm like taking a few specific plays that I remember and like drawing even bigger generalities from it.
Oh, also, I want to mention, as we start diving into some analysis here, we have not rewatched this game.
That's
Neither
true.
of us have.
We're going straight on.
Just to peek behind the curtain, we had Coach Randy Douglas this morning. That took priority. We did some research for that and also did a bunch of like prep for that. And we are like less than 24 hours after the game. We're about 18 hours after the game, maybe.
Yeah, and we've got 2 games coming up on Saturday. Like, we're doing it now, and otherwise it's not happening at all.
Yeah. So I'm not saying like I have takes and I have thoughts. But this is not going to be our most... usually I rewatch the game afterwards and I confirm how I'm feeling, and sometimes I'm feeling different or whatever else. I have not rewatched the game.
So like I thought that we were... decent. I thought that... Albion's not a team. They don't set up like a Flower City or a Michigan Stars. Like they're going to play... kind of like how CFC is going to play CFC football no matter what. Albion wants to go play their kind of football no matter what. And... what that does is like they're just not as defensively good. They leave some gaps in midfield and they don't rotate really well, and it allowed us to get into the attacking third and into good attacking positions more often. And so we created 3 decent half chances in the or quarter chances really in the first 10 minutes or so, and which was great to see, like creating chances at home early, not fucking around with the game for a half hour. And now we didn't do anything with those chances, but we definitely were creating them. That was a really good sign, because I don't think, obviously Saturday with the Rochester game, we didn't actually see it, but in talking to some of the players and talking to coach at the bar after the game, they kind of were like, it's a lot like the first Flower City game. Like there just wasn't a lot in it either way. Obviously, except for we had a couple chances. Flower City had nothing their whole game, and we took our one big chance with Marcus's goal in that game.
Is Flower City?
Yeah,
I don't know that it was that big a chance.
It was not that big of a chance. It's a like 25-yard curler or
from
something.
The description that I've heard, it was an outside the box curler with his right foot.
Yeah, okay, so it's not a big chance, but it scored, so we're calling it a big chance. And Albion. We created a lot more, and that was really nice to see, because it's been frankly a while since we've created a lot of stuff, and obviously with the injury issues that we've had in attack, like the defense has been holding up its end and allowing offense time to figure things out, and I think we saw like noticeable progress against Albion in terms of chance creation.
I have actually a pretty important question for you.
What's up?
It's a goalkeeping question.
Oh no.
Do we have a new goalkeeper? Aiden Bowers? What a clearance off the line by that man. What an it's the biggest save of the game.
That is Albion's
real save of the game.
That is Albion's only like big chance. Truthfully, like really the only big chance we've given up probably in NISA this year.
Maybe so, man. I am yawning a lot. I should have, but the coffee from this morning is wearing off. Keep going.
Yeah, and you need. This is actually what I'm going to be one of my things. Like, you need players to make big plays in certain moments, and we finally gave up a really ginormous chance. I mean, that is open goal with one defender, and it's an attacker like straight on 12 yards or whatever.
And the one defender reads it properly and gets it with his head.
He reads it properly. He's in the right place at the right time. And also, like, frankly, like, Cadono's a good player for Albion. Played at Cal United last year. Like, he's a decent player, but like he's their lead the line 9, and that's not his game. And it's one of the reasons why, Albion. I still believe Albion's going to finish top 5. But I think that the defense and not having a true 9, like a Marcus level 9, is what's going to hold him back from being anything else. Because like a guy like Marcus is going to take that, he's going to put it in the corner. Like, he won't mess around. Cadono's not a true 9, and so like I think when you're in moments like that, especially you're down to like you're starting to get some attacking play going on, but this is the first time you have a true chance, and like it's almost like a panic situation where like you really need to keep your head, be calm, be collected, slot it where you want it to go. I think he was just like trying to get it on goal, anywhere on goal. Does not matter if it's straight on, corner,
shoot
wherever
it
goes.
blocked.
Just get it on goal before it gets blocked. And that's not a terrible way to do it. But that's the difference between
Marcus and that guy.
Marcus and that guy.
Yeah, for sure. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's do the lineups. Matthew, give me the lineup.
Yeah, so not a lot of surprises. I mean, obviously, Jean-Antoine in goal, Colin Stripling at right back, Prepelita and Bowers with Joseph Perez at left back.
Who? Prepelita?
Prepelitz, sorry.
Prepelitza. Come on, buddy.
Richard Dixon at the 6, Alex McGrath at one of the central midfield positions. The only change from the Flower City game on the weekend was Beto Alvarenga coming in for Luis Garcia Sosa. You had Juan Louis out left, Mattia Mwape on the right, Marcus Nangles at striker.
Which is basically our only healthy players. Which is a problem. But do you have the subs?
Yeah, so we made 2 subs the entire match.
Throw back to last year.
Yeah, Cindy...
When Rod is genuine, I realize like it's not super early subs, but Rod's made a lot more subs this year, just in overall numbers. Last year he made 1 to 2 subs a game. It felt like, and they were pretty late. This was we made late 2 subs.
We made 2 subs in the 80th minute using 1 substitution moment, and that was it for the whole game. Sebastian Capizzucci came on to play central defense, or I'm sorry, central midfield. Defensive midfield.
Central. It's defensive midfielder Sebastian Capizzucci to you, Matthew.
Yes, and also Lenny Lopez came on. They replaced Juan Louis and Mattia Mwape. And we actually got curious. We asked Rod after the game because I was like, we're trying to figure it out because I saw Capizzucci coming on, and I'm like, back 3. Are we going to go back 3?
No, it was a 4-4-2
/ back 5. It was a 4-4-2 with the middle 4 being a box, which is fun.
4-4-2 is very fun.
We haven't played I don't think CFC has played a 4-4-2 since the fall of 2019.
I don't know that we have.
4-4-2 with a box, I mean.
Yes, correct. So that was the only subs. We called the goalkeeper Papa Roach. His name is Ben Roach. He does not like that. And we got a wonderful moment to sing him off the field with We Just Scored on You, which we had just scored on him as he was walking forlornly off the field towards their locker room at halftime. It was wonderful.
It was so good. So good. Let's talk about the goals real quick.
I was going to go to the same place.
So first goal comes off of like, we've had chances. We've not been particularly effective with them. And then like the chances sort of started drying up. Like we created a couple big ones early, and then we got into the kind of that period of the first half where Albion had weathered the first storm, had grown in confidence. They weren't doing anything really with the ball, creating a lot of stuff, but they were defending a little bit better.
They were the definition in this game with their possession without penetration.
Yeah.
They had the ball quite a bit, and more than we normally see.
Which is also an effective tactic. Like, if you can keep the ball away from us for long periods of time, like, we can't score on you.
Yeah, we were just already up when most of their possession happened.
So, yeah, but like in the first half, they had one of those periods where I think they were playing a little bit better. But we were still able to penetrate, and I just don't think our final ball or our attacking product in the final third was a lot of quality from about minute 10 to about minute 35 when the goal happened. And really, good intricate period of play. Nothing too dangerous happening. Beto gets the ball. He's kind of in the middle of center midfield, probably the 25, 30 yard line. 30 yards out from goal, I mean. Not the actual 30 yard line. I don't know where that is. And he just like sends a little small diagonal, kind of just rotating the field of play over to Alex McGrath, who is going to end up being one-on-one with Albion's left back. And I've watched this goal several times now. I felt it in the actual moment. Like, Alex doesn't necessarily beat him per se, but he just does enough to like get Tyler Gabarra a little bit off balance and just enough room where he can whip a ball in. And it's not whipped actually by any stretch of the imagination. It's kind of like a little bit of a floater ball. And there's a camera angle from near like the Coca-Cola pitch side area that has a really good shot of this as McGrath is kind of driving and trying to create the space. Marcus is in the 6 yard box or on the edge of the 6 yard box with a couple defenders, and he just peels off because he is recognizing like where the likelihood of the ball going from McGrath. He just peels off a little bit, and McGrath sends this little like kind of like looping ball, but it's like kind of a little bit of height, a little bit of trajectory, not a ton of speed on it for a cross. Enough, obviously, but like not a crazy ton. And like something that would be like legitimately hard to get enough power on to get it on frame. And Marcus is an exceptionally good striker.
And Marcus does Marcus shit?
And Marcus does Marcus shit, and he gets enough power on it, like redirects it perfectly, like looping over the top, right into like just, it's basically like upper 90, but for looping so it has to come down a little bit, like right into the side netting. Absolutely fucking magical.
And we're up 1-0.
And like that was not Marcus's best chance of the game. Like he had put one just wide that was definitely a better like XG chance or whatever. But like sometimes they go in, and that was a huge goal for us.
Relieved a lot of pressure.
It relieved a lot of pressure. It also made the rest of the first half, the last 10 minutes of the first half, just real helter-skelter from Albion. Because like it crushed Albion's hopes and dreams. And, just after that, they coughed up one that Marcus probably should have hit first time, that he holds on to, and the chance goes begging. And then just not that long after, maybe 43rd, 42nd minute, McGrath is making a run into the box with the ball and gets like arm barred over from behind. And the referee calls a dive, which is one of the most horseshit calls I've ever seen in my life.
And we've seen some horseshit calls.
Like he calls a dive, gives a yellow card for a clear foul in the box that should be a penalty. That probably should get the yellow card overturned because it's so bad. And not 2 minutes, not a minute, 2 minutes later, Albion plays something from out of the back. And McGrath on the press just reads it perfectly, picks the pocket,
one-on-one with the goalkeeper,
one-on-one with the goalkeeper, scores the second goal. And
suck it, referee, and suck it, San Diego.
Whistle blows, halftime, 2-0. And that goal's a backbreaker.
Yeah,
absolutely, because like you're not in the game anymore.
Yeah, it went from like they were one goal away from getting back into the game to being one goal away from maybe being one goal away.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. So that's the goals. I would say let's talk about Albion's goals, but there weren't any.
The second half is a lot of possession from us. Not a lot of like we had some interesting stuff happen on the break in the second half. And like the break has not really amounted to anything for us this year yet. And hopefully it will with some time. But there was a lot of periods in the second half where we were just passing the ball around, like seeing if they want to come challenge the center backs to open up some gaps. And they're down 2 goals, and sometimes they did, and sometimes they didn't. And we're like, cool, like that's fine. Like we've got another game on the weekend. Like we're happy to try to save some legs here. Like not a lot of healthy bodies in this team, so they really did a good job. And we were told, like in the Rochester game, that they also like once they got that goal, they were happy to let the second half play out, like keep possession, try to save some legs. And I thought they managed the game really well on Wednesday in the second half.
CFC, you mean?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And obviously made some defensive subs to be a little bit secure. You had the big one moment that Albion got, and luckily Aiden was there to clear it off the line, preserve the
No luck about it, sir.
preserve the lead.
That's goalkeeper Aiden Bowers to you.
To preserve the 2-goal lead, and it kind of just withered away. Like Albion would get a couple good touches, like a couple good plays, get a chance to do something, and the cross would just go begging. There'd be nobody in the box really. Like it's just one of those things. I thought we did a great job of managing the game, limiting the amount of danger that could be possible, and that's a good performance from a team that has done a great job of like just managing games. Like I don't think we're anywhere close to hitting our stride,
especially offensively.
I think defensively, they're just gonna.
It's gonna be real tough to be better.
They're just gonna grind. They're just gonna grind you out, and I really like that.
Me too. I'll give you kind of 3 points. Number one, yellow cards are potentially going to be an issue. Prepelica has 4, I believe. Alex McGrath also has 4. I think on the 5th one you get a suspension, so both those guys are 1 away from suspension, I believe. Which, look, it's not going to. We have some depth this year that we haven't had in the past, but you don't want a suspension for anybody at any time. So that's the first thing. These aren't my 3 things. These are just 3 things that I thought of. So that's the first 2. I don't remember what the third one was. So there we go.
Yeah, I thought it was a good performance. Actually, no, this is what I want to talk about. 2,138 people on a Wednesday. I think Club tweeted out after the game or whatever it was. It was the highest attended midweek game since 2018, and now in 2018 is when we made up numbers.
The people know what's good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great turnout. The energy was good. It was fun.
Yeah, it was
real fun.
It was a very, very good night. Matthew, let's go straight on to these 3 things. Yeah,
I can do that. Yeah,
let's do yours.
Okay. So I kind of mentioned one already, but like we had seen so we haven't scored multiple goals in a game since mid-April in San Diego against Albion.
Man, that was a fun trip.
Where we scored 5. That's our first multi-goal game in a while, and we saw actual like multiple like good chances being created in a game. Sometimes it's through offense. Sometimes twice it was through turning somebody over high up the field and like making a move. We saw some counterattacks that were interesting but not crazy productive. And I think part of that is just like Juan Luis had a good period of just regular football. This is Matthias' 3rd start in a row. Granted, he only went 45 minutes for one of them, but like he's gone basically 2 full games now. Like you're starting to see the flow working a little bit better. I thought Beto had a great game in central midfield, deputizing for Luis Garcia Sosa. I thought he was in the right spots, like doing all especially like the offensive work, keeping the ball moving, being tidy. That was really, really nice to see. It seems like that part's coming, and hopefully on we get Maryland Bobcats on Saturday, which is a huge game for the table, and I hope that we can continue to have that offense take some steps while not losing what's made this team really, really good so far, which is the defensive quality.
Yeah.
My second one is, and I mentioned it before, we limited Albion to only 1 chance. Like truly 1 chance. Like they had a couple shots from outside the box, went high, straight at Gene, whatever. It's really, really hard to win a game if you can't get quality chances. You can certainly win games without quality chances. Like you can hit a worldie, you can do all kinds of things. But like the likelihood, the statistical likelihood of winning games without quality chances is very, very low. And that's our brand. We want to limit teams from being able to have quality chances, and we want to create quality chances. This is how this works. And I thought we did a really good job of continuing that streak. Some games we go without limiting, we go without giving up a single big chance. We did against Albion, and we were lucky that it didn't bite us, but goalkeeper Aiden Bowers had us covered. and that's going to happen. Like, that's natural. Like, teams are not going to be perfect. And Albion, for all their issues defensively, and naivete is a good word for it. They can pass they can make a couple passes. They've got some guys with some good individual skill that if you're not up for it, if you're really there, they can get out of a press and like move the ball. And they took some chances with their wingers, leaving them super, super high and wide, to try to like, we'll leave one body, we'll leave one body out of the defense so that if they can win the ball and do a big switch, something could potentially be on the counter. Like, it's not a bad game plan necessarily, because like they're willing to take a chance on scoring a goal, whereas someone like Flower City was never taking a chance.
Yeah, it was the exact inverse. I will add something to that. They broke dangerously. They looked dangerous at times, and the first few passes getting out, sometimes getting into space, were very good. But then there's two things that are special about this team defensively. Number one is we get numbers back.
Yeah, we recover well.
And even when they got out and it looked like they were going to have some numbers, they never had numbers really. Like, we always had people back.
We scared them. We scared them enough to them second guessing going forward. And as soon as they recycled, we were never in danger again.
But sometimes sometimes they broke out. And it was still like a 2-on-3 or a 2 on whatever. So like, or 3-on-4. And so we just always had enough numbers back, which is this team's better both individually defensively and also just in work. Work rate's not even quite fair, but like the defensive positioning, they're just back more. And I don't mean just like intercepting the ball. They're just, Perez is literally from one end of the field to the other, right? Like, Bowers and Prepelica seem to always be back. Dixon always was back. Colin Stripling is always back, even if they're not staying back, even if they just end up back before the danger happens.
My third thing, Wednesday's game could have turned out a lot like the Savannah game, but like the intensity was there from the start. There, like, we had a couple chances early, and not scoring them didn't affect us. Like, we just moved on. We worked with the game. We looked for the gaps. We wanted to make sure there was never a doubt in getting the first goal, and then like having the bad call go away and not having a penalty. Like, right there, we set up in the press. We turn the guy over. We get the second goal anyway. And on another day, that's the type of game where like a refereeing decision, like the Savannah game, can mean the difference between 1 point and 3. And good teams have to make sure that you don't put yourselves in a position to get screwed by the ref. And that ref was awful on Wednesday night. Like, it was bad. Like, that's another like marquee, like, never be a center again type performance. Because like they and no headsets again. Like, these guys just can't do it. And I'm just guessing it's going to be a theme this year. But like they don't measure up, and for whatever reason, like we're just gonna get screwed on it from time to time. And hopefully it's not every game, but getting the job done, putting things beyond doubt, means you don't have to worry about it as much. And then you can just move to managing the game, managing the referee, not doing anything stupid, keeping your head, and move on to the next one. And that's what we did.
Beautiful. Defense. My first point is defense has been real good, and the sheets are clean. We've allowed one goal in NISA play. It was a penalty, a dubious penalty, let's call it.
Dubious is a nice way of putting it.
So,
Travis,
we are simply not allowing big chances.
Yeah.
I mean, this might have been the biggest chance of the season in NISA play.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just very, very, very good. The offense is decimated by injuries currently.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think it's particularly inept. It's just we're grinding out games offensively, and we are dominating games defensively, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. And then look, we had an attitude on the ball. There was I could see a little bit of a recharge from. Obviously, we didn't see the Flower City game. Fuck you, Rochester. But before that, we were kind of like that Savannah game. We were definitely dragging a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
And in this game, I saw an attitude on the ball, an attitude with the ball, and a little bit of a disdain for others, like that might be pressing you or might be going. So like, I liked the intensity, I liked the attitude, I liked the vibe with the ball. It didn't always come off, but I saw some of the right, because last year we got more and more confident as the season went on. And this year, I think I'm starting to see that a little bit. We're getting more confident. It's not all stitched together yet. It's still got some whatevers, but we had a little bit of that pep to our step back with the ball, and that's good. And that's, good players make plays, and that's how we got our 2 goals. And we're going to be just real hard to beat if the defense doesn't allow a goal. It's hard to lose a game if you don't allow a goal.
Absolutely.
And that's my 3 things: attitude with the ball, offense decimated by injuries, and defense being real good and the sheets being clean. So, Matthew, I think this was a much quicker review, in part because there wasn't a lot in this game that was super interesting, I don't think. I will say we are going to be, the depth of the team will be tested. It's already being tested with the injuries, but it's going to be tested if and when we get the inevitable yellow card suspension. And, players are going to have to step up.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Colin Stripling, who's now the starter, but Jung Woo-so played a lot of minutes to start out the season. That's, a backup bench player, in Jung Woo-so stepping up and doing really well. Beto and Luis, and their alternation has already been huge this season.
Yep.
The wingers have been alternating all season, and then Lenny getting sporadic
and
minutes.
Now we have 2 wingers right now. Fabian's the next winger up.
As an academy player, yeah.
Right.
So this is a very interesting time. Sebastian Capozzucci starting to get some minutes here and there. Like, we're down to kind of a thin roster right now, and hopefully we will get some players back as some time goes on with injuries and whatever else. But it's something to keep an eye on, and also something to just know that we're thin. And if you watch,
we are.
If you see a player playing poorly and you see them starting over and over, and I'm not saying this is currently happening, but like, we could see over the next 6 or 8 games a player play poorly, and there might not be a backup to start in their place.
You just gotta roll with it, let them grow, let them figure it out, and
let them play through it.
And honestly, really, really good teams, championship teams, grind. Like, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. And I think maybe the first couple of games, like, we thought, like, oh shit, like, this team's just going to play champagne football and like do this thing. Championship teams grind. And hopefully we get some players back and we're able to get back to the place where we can grind games on the defensive side and play a little champagne football on the offensive side and really like be creative and break teams down. But like, the goal is to win games.
We're currently doing that.
And we're currently doing it grinding. And I don't see the grind really stopping.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's a good place to leave this. Matthew, thanks for joining me. Listeners, thanks for listening. I'll catch up with you soon.